And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please welcome to the ice the members of the 2016 NCAA National Champions from the University of North Dakota.
Welcome back to the Has-Beens presented by 10K Takes, and as always, brought to you by the Chill Boys. Get your underwear and socks at www.chillboys.com. Long johns, socks, underwear made from bamboo wood. Unbelievable stuff. Today I am joined by a few, some of my favorite people here. Trevor the Mayor Olson. Taylor Richart is our guest, and Jack the Mace Mason is with us, and my name is Sue Chief Ausmus. So I like to go by Sue Chief Ausmus nowadays, kind of like Ron Artest, goes by Meta World Peace. I was thinking about changing my name legally like him.
I think you should.
Ennis Cantor, he's Ennis Freedom now. I'm just going to be Chief Sue Ausmus. Some people might be mad, but whatever.
That might have to be for the prediction. Who loses has to change their name to Chief Sue.
A legal name change. All right, well, let's get into our weekends here. Ols, get anything good?
This last weekend, I didn't do anything. I actually ran into a little bit of a migraine. Battled through. But this upcoming weekend, I got myself a trip up to Grand Forks, North Dakota. A little playoff hockey and a little Morgan Wallen concert.
Thoughts and prayers of Trevor Olson.
Yeah.
He
I
makes
need
it back safe and hopefully sober.
Also, that won't happen. But I will be delivering some merchandise.
Oh, what's he bringing to Grand Forks?
Little has-been merchandise, rocking the gray sweaty here. Gage has the black and white silhouette look. We're pumped. I think they're super comfortable. Yeah. My brother did a great job with it. So,
unbelievable job. I feel comfortable wearing the black one because I don't really like wearing pictures of myself. And on the gray one, you can really tell that it's me because everyone knows that iconic picture of myself holding the national championship trophy that I pretty much won by myself with 2 points in that national championship game. But we won't go over that. Couple huge assists.
I usually just say
that's for a different podcast.
Yeah, right. I just say that's Zach Parisi. We just threw him on there. 11. No, that's me.
I don't know if my hair kind of looks ginger there, but that's okay. We'll get past it. Richie, you get up to anything good this weekend?
I did not. It was a long week after a vacation down in Florida, so it was nice to relax.
What prompted that vacation to Florida? What was it? It was just cause?
It was just a nice getaway.
Yeah.
Kayla's grandparents have a place down there, so got to get away and relax. It was nice after a few weeks of grinding in the real world now, so it was much needed. But
so you have to work down there while you're down there, or do you just take the whole time off?
I did 2 half days, worked Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and then took the rest of the 3 days off. So it was nice. I had to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to be able to do your work from just anywhere in the country. That'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now I understand why everyone likes to work from home. I'm very against it because I don't have that option. So, you people, if you like working from home, get off your ass and get to work. All right. Get in the office, get stuff done, communicate with your coworkers. All right. That's the real way to do things. All right. Mace, how was the weekend?
Pretty laid back. Friday, just watched a Sioux play. And then on Saturday, me and some friends went to Wild Bill's in Apple Valley to play some bingo. And
nice.
I think I was the youngest person there by like 30 years. So,
yep.
Bingo night's always good, though.
Bingo's typically an older crowd. Yep.
I love bingo.
Unbelievable. Especially when you get bingo, you have to yell, bingo!
Oh, yeah. As loud as you can. Did you bingo or no?
No, in 2 sessions so far, none of us have got a bingo yet. It's kind of rigged.
It's so funny. Whenever you're playing bingo and you hear someone else say bingo, you're like, fuck this guy. You cheater. No, they didn't call that one. No, I didn't hear it. My weekend, also kind of uneventful. didn't get up to much. Got to see my good buddies Neil Goff and Chew DeHole on Saturday.
Love that.
But anyways, I did want to bring up kind of an interesting topic. Because once again, I talked to my dad on the phone, laid low. But so anyways, someone we know from Grand Forks, kind of a friend of ours. Her name's Holly Gruba. Her husband, Tim, actually is finding out that he needs to find a kidney transplant within the next 2 years or whatever. So my dad's obviously, he's talking to her and he's like, well, what are the odds he gets one? They're like, it's not great. It's really hard to find a kidney, which, if anyone's willing, I don't know the blood type. I don't know if I can donate personally because I have once upon a time lacerated my kidney in half. So I don't know how that one's functioning. But anyways, you got to find a good working kidney and it's really hard to find one. So my dad just like, well, why don't you go out and try to buy one? And she's like, well, that's illegal. You can't buy a kidney if you want. You just have to get on the waiting list. There's no buying one or anything. And my dad's kind of upset about this. He's like, well, Canadians can buy one. Well, what if I want to, my kid's dying and I want to spend $1 million and pay someone to give their kidney over? How much would that be? Because, you have 2 kidneys. You only need one to live. How much would that mean to someone who, there's a lot of people out there who don't have a lot of money, and that'd be like hitting the lottery, like, hey, do you want to donate your kidney for $1 million or whatever? Yeah, sure. And then they have $1 million after.
Yeah.
They still have a working kidney. I mean, obviously there's risks involved, but anyways, my dad's talking about this, like, I just can't believe I can't buy a kidney if I want one. What the fuck is this? Why can't I go out there and, offer it to someone? These people, it'd be a win-win. I get a kidney and they get a ton of money. It's great.
Yeah.
And obviously, I kind of wanted to ask you guys, like, what are the pros and cons to this? Obviously, pros, one party gets, a kidney and the other party gets a lot of money. Why would it be illegal? Can you think of anything? Like, what are the reasons why you wouldn't be able to get a kidney?
I think the only reason why it would be illegal maybe is just because some people are more well off, so they can buy it in front of the person that isn't as well off. And
yeah, I mean,
obviously they both need a kidney.
That's clearly a factor, yeah, for sure. So it's fair for everyone.
And I mean,
in Canada you can buy them though.
Right.
So they're the ones with the universal health care, nationwide free health care. Yet you can purchase an organ in Canada. Yeah. I was thinking like, well, obviously, just like anything else in America, if you're allowed to do that, I mean, there's going to be people trying to harvest.
That's what I was going to say.
There's going to be people getting kidnapped. They're going to wake up, one less kidney. They don't know what the fuck happened.
But not only that, somebody is going to try and monopolize it and be like, hey, 100%. Give me your kidney for $1 million. All of a sudden, he's got 100 of them and he sells them for 10 mil. Yeah, and my dad's like, well, I'm telling him this. I'm like, well, people would try to harvest them, or there's a lot of things there. And he's like, well, how could you pull that off? And I'm like, well, I just watched a documentary on this doctor who sold over like 300 newborn babies to random people. So he would birth the baby and bring it to a back room, and then he'd walk back into that room.
I saw that.
He'd walk back into the room and say, oh, sorry, your child is dead. I'm really sorry.
What?
He'd send the parents. He'd send the parents home, and then he'd bring the newborn baby out the back door and sell it to a family.
What documentary is this?
I can't remember. But then those people found out, and they were like tracing back and finding their real parents and stuff.
Yeah, they're all trying to find their real parents because they think their real parents just gave them up, and these parents think their kid's dead when it's really out there just living life with some other family.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's wild.
And that's why
I'm like, Dad, that's why it's possible.
Yeah.
To harvest these. Like, you don't think it's possible? It is. I mean, people are doing fucked up shit out there. But let's get into our predictions for the weekend. How do we do? I think I did pretty well. I went 3-1. Olson went 3-1 last weekend. Mace 2-2, I think.
Yeah, 2-2.
And Jimmy 1-3, I think.
Yeah.
The Murdog?
Suck it, Jimmy.
Yeah. Sorry, James.
Predictions. First one, Colorado College at Nodak. I'll take us off first here. 2-0. We'll see you down at the Frozen Face-Off, North Dakota.
I'm going to go North Dakota 2-0 as well.
I'm going North Dakota 2-0 as well.
I'll go Nodak 2-1. Colorado College gets one.
Wow.
Okay, we've seen it before.
Yep, we have.
Next series, Denver versus Miami.
I'll start this one off. Denver 2-0.
No love for his school. Come on.
I love Miami, but Denver, I mean, you gotta. Sorry, Miami.
Well, all right. I'm going to go Denver 2-0 as well.
Well, I'm going to follow along. I got the Pios heading to Minneapolis. Actually, St. Paul now, they're playing at the XL.
Yeah.
Lucky them.
Old
we had
Daddy's
to play in
playground.
a goddamn basketball arena. That was the worst ice ever at the Target Center. Do you remember playing those games? It was like, we're going through the game plan and we're like, well, it's not going to be a normal game. It's going to be like playing on a pond hockey rink.
Yeah.
Pond hockey rink in the springtime, a little slushy out there.
Lots of snow.
Don't try to stick.
It was stupid.
Don't try to stick handle. Just chip it off the glass. And I'm like, you know what? This fucking rink was made for me.
And the X was made for me. I'd like to look up all of my high school games and college games at the X. I bet you I'm 2 points per game. Easy. Look it up.
I wish we would have played some games there to grab those points.
No, I did. Senior year.
No, I know you did senior.
No.
I'm saying North Dakota. I wish we played some games there so you could have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I needed that as a
We
confidence
needed that out of
boost.
you, yeah. If you're guaranteed 2 points in that arena, I mean, Target Center is different story.
Oh,
but-
yeah. -4.
All right, Mace.
So you went 2-0, right?
Yep.
Then I'll go 2-1. I think Miami's going to get one.
All right.
Okay. I said I was going to go ballsy, and Mace is just out here right now.
Mace might have us all beat. All right, next series. Duluth at St. Cloud.
You want me to start?
Yeah, this is a tough one.
It is.
Duluth at St. Cloud. I'm going 2-1 Bulldogs.
There it is.
I'm going 2-1 St. Cloud.
Like it? I mean, it's a damn toss-up.
yeah.
Both these teams are good.
I would. It'd be easier if it was in Duluth, but
I know.
that St. Cloud rink's an Olympic
And they
size
play
sheet.
their rink so well.
And
Yeah,
they've
always.
every year they've got that power play that's just like, God, they're on the power play. And you got to go out there and soak a one-timer to the back of the leg or whatever. It
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah, I'm going to, gosh, I don't. It's tough for me not to pick Duluth, but in spite of Veach and all the Duluth fans that I've gotten into it over the years on Twitter, wherever, I got Cloud 2-1. See you at the Frozen Face-Off. St. Cloud, welcome.
I'm going Duluth 2-1. I think Duluth's going to make it out of St. Cloud.
I like
Yeah,
that pick, Mace.
that's a good pick. Okay, next one, Western versus Omaha.
Where is this one again?
It's
In
at-
Western.
It's in Kalamazoo. The Lawson Lunatics will be in the crowd.
I'm going Western 2-1.
I'm going Western clean sweep 2-0.
That's a good choice. It's a
Yeah.
great choice.
It's tough because I just saw see Omaha play that game last weekend against North Dakota. It really means nothing. They come out and win. I'm still gonna go Lunatics 2-0. The Lunatics might not even be there at spring break.
Ah. I like my pick even better now. I'll take 2-1. Love that.
I'm going Western 2-0, no questions.
No questions asked.
All right,
Love
he's
that.
confident. Let's go. Okay. Let's do some hypotheticals
I
here.
love this segment. This is my favorite segment.
So, would you rather be a starting quarterback in the NFL? That's just starting. I'm not saying you're MVP Aaron Rodgers. You're just a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Okay.
Or would you rather be the ace closer on an MLB team?
But it's not a winning. It could be any MLB team, or is it like a top?
You're just an ace closer.
Okay. Richie, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going ace closer in baseball.
What, you got a reason there?
Played baseball all the way growing up. Stopped in high school just hockey, but you just think about that on the body. Like you're hanging out in the bullpen all day, all evening, and all of a sudden get the call in the bullpen. You're up, throw a couple innings.
You literally just go out there for the ninth.
Yeah, literally 3 outs.
Yeah, throwing maybe 20, 25 pitches, and you're good to go.
Just
you're getting ready
chucking
for the next
gas.
Night. Yeah,
I love football, but I would go ace closer in a heartbeat. They give you $30 million to pitch 1 inning.
Oh yeah,
but
you're an ace.
You're kind of in there a lot of the games, though. You know, right? Like if you're a closer, you're in on a lot of the games. Like if you're a pitcher in baseball, it's unbelievable. You know, you pitch one game and then you watch the boys play.
Yeah.
For a week or two until you play again, so you're just chilling.
Except as an ace. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I'm going ace.
But then you got Aaron Donald coming at you. When you're
yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this one. It's really tough because obviously the ace closers, that's an unreal position, just popping out there and chucking some heat, and maybe, I mean, sometimes they'd probably get out of the inning and out of the game in like 7 pitches. So I'm still going to have to choose quarterback just because there's nothing quite like that feeling of being the quarterback. Like, you know, like if you're the quarterback of the NFL team, you are walking around with a balloon head. Like, who are you? What are you? What's your position? Quarterback.
QB1.
QB1. My fucking head's huge.
Yeah. QB1.
Yeah, just QB1, something about that, you know. And I know people call baseball America's their favorite pastime or whatever, but the NFL is America's sport. That's what everyone watches. So
nowadays, yeah.
Nowadays, yeah. Next one.
Mace, I want to hear yours.
Oh, what's he going to choose?
You know, I'd go starting QB as well. I like the fame, you know, being in front of the big crowd, starting every game.
Yep.
I'd take that.
We're all about the attention over here, me and Mace.
Couple of Sam Darnolds. You guys are going to be sweet.
I've never had mono. I have kissed a girl before, though.
Well,
lucky.
I don't know about that. Yeah, right. God, teach me. 28, still haven't gotten one.
How many people do you think are out there? Like,
a lot, man.
You think?
I think there's a lot.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, it took me 26 years.
There's a lot of people that, you know, there's a lot of stories out there that you would think are crazy, and they're just like, holy.
Yeah.
They'd probably look at us and be like, hey,
you're a psycho. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, any normal person does.
All right. This next one's kind of, it's different. Okay. Would you rather play all home games all season long or the normal schedule, but your home games are played at the smallest rink in the town? Probably seats 500 people.
Say that again. All home games.
Yep.
Or normal schedule.
But all of your home games are played in the smallest rink in the town. Not at the Ralph, not at Miami's, not at Magnus. It's played in some shitty youth hockey rink.
I feel like it has to be all home games.
Then you don't have those away experiences.
But then, okay, then you have the...
Like playing beer pong at the Sioux Apartments after
Yeah, we're going to touch on that, right? We'll touch on that.
We touched on that last episode.
Oh, man.
I'm happy to bring it up again. All right, I'm going to go... Jesus. I'm going normal schedule, but home games are played as... I mean, that would be fucking nuts. Right?
Yeah.
Home games in a...
Tiny barn.
Yeah, you pack 1,000 of the craziest people in there.
I mean, it's only 500.
Oh, 500?
Your home games are kind of dust. But you're still playing.
Yeah,
at
I guess it depends where I'm playing, you know?
home. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I mean,
you could be,
if you're
Some coast arenas, you got 500 people there.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you're playing all home games and you already get terrible, I'm talking about home games like you're playing in a home arena where it's sold out every night.
Okay.
Like it's big time.
Yeah.
But you don't get that road experience.
Yeah. I changed it. I'm going all home games. Stuffed
Really?
barn. Stuffed barn, all home games.
You're ditching the road games.
Yeah.
It's like all home games at the Ralph, just packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice playing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna going the other way. Home games are played in the smallest youth rink, but you get those away experiences.
Yeah.
Just the memories, like we'd party with you guys after we'd party
Yeah.
in Duluth, like
Yeah.
Denver, like those were some of the best memories we had. And
Yeah,
then some of
it's-
you guys coming to Miami and partying with us after.
Yeah.
Like,
And I was that's probably my choice as well. You're sacrificing the big home games, but you still get some games at home where you don't have to travel. But then you also get those away games where, and it's not even, when you're on the road, it's not even when it's great. Sometimes when it's a terrible road trip, that's also like a good memory. Like,
Yeah.
It sucks during the time, but like you look back on it and you're like,
what a shit show that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, exactly. You're
that
laughing
was
the whole
hilarious.
time.
Yeah,
like,
that was
fuck.
hilarious. Like probably when Alan had to play us in Utah, and they took a bus. They tried to bus to Utah, and they got stuck in a blizzard. So they slept. It was a coach bus, not even a sleeper bus. They're on the side of the road, slept or whatever, stopped, and then they just kept driving. They rolled up to the rink. We're playing at 7. They rolled up at 6 p.m. and hopped on the ice, and they fucking beat us.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
We were all warming up like this is a guaranteed win. We're
Guaranteed
laughing.
win night.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Normal schedule, small home arena. That's fine. Next, I wanted to touch on, just because Richie's in studio here. Richie was very professional about what he did on game days and his routine and what he was doing. So I wanted to bring up. I kind of just wanted to hear what your full game day routine was. And I'm talking like
Start to finish?
I'm talking from when you wake up and then even after the game and until you go to bed.
Okay. I like
That's
this.
what I want to hear.
I like this.
So
Do we have enough time?
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to hear
It's,
every
oh,
detail.
boy.
Every
It was-
detail.
Yeah.
Mine is going to be completely opposite of yours, and I Billy fucking guarantee it.
Richie was dialed in.
It was like same exact thing.
Yeah.
Like it was in college a little bit. It was like to a time, like a certain time I would do things, and I was like, then I just kind of my play got a little bit down because I'm like,
You're worried too much.
so
about
yeah.
your-
So I was like, and Utah, I just had it down. I did the same thing every single time for 4 years. Like, yeah. So I'd wake up. Usually, obviously, like I think we had to be in the rink about like 8 or something. Probably wake up at 7. Made sure I had 4 eggs. That's it. But
just straight eggs.
straight scrambled eggs. That's it. Yeah. Get to the rink, have half cup of coffee. Didn't want too much because I drink my Spark before
Yep.
games. So had just a little bit of caffeine because I take my nap. So I'd do my pregame or skate, whatever. Before pre-skate, I'm just biking, stretching, do our pregame skate.
Anything on pregame skate that is out of the norm? That
No, just
you'd make
normal.
sure to-
yeah, just make sure I kind of just.
just a normal
stretch, bike.
skate around.
Yeah.
Snap a few crispy.
Yep. At the end, though, I would go to the red line. At the end of morning skate, go to the red line, have to do quick starts, like 4 hard quick starts, turn to the left, 4 hard quick starts, turn to the right, left, right. So that's 1. Going
Yep.
forward, and I did the same thing going backwards. Hard
So
going
you're working
backwards,
on the skating. Oh yeah.
turn that one way, test my edges. So that's how I ended every morning skate. And then I had to shoot 1 puck like from the goal line, and I had to keep it from the corner from the goal line, had to hit it in the net, like so at a bad angle.
Yeah.
And I had to do it. Had to make sure I got it in the air.
Was there ever a time where like you're
Oh, I
sitting
missed
out
and I
there,
got
like,
fucking
just
pissed.
rattled?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or like the guys that are scratch have to skate and they come out of that and I'm like, fucking kidding me? Like, I'm trying to get my pregame shit
Richie
going.
walks in, coach can't play tonight.
Yeah.
Didn't fucking put one in the net.
I'm out. I'm out. Yeah, so that was that. Then get undressed, whatever. Made sure I sat in the recovery boots. Did the 20-minute recovery boots. Go home, chill for a bit. Have my pregame meal at about 12:30. Same thing every time.
12:30 is what is the time you ate?
Yep, 12:30.
Usually pasta or
Oh yeah, pasta, like an absurd amount of pasta. Like I would put myself in a food coma.
Oh yeah.
Like
You got it.
pasta, I would have
makes
pasta.
the nap better.
Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah,
Yeah.
pasta with like a vodka sauce with chicken and broccoli every single time.
All right.
So put myself in a food coma and I would sleep for 2 hours, anything over like hour and a half. So usually 2 hours. Make sure I'm up. We have to be at the rink by 5. I'm usually there by 4:15. I would leave my apartment at 4, and then just same routine every time when I get to the rink. Get the suit off, tape the stick right away, measure out my spark, get some water. Make sure if I had any treatment or stuff, go take care of that. And then we'd always have our team meeting at 5:10. I would go down into the weight room at 4:55, bike for 3 minutes, do the same stretching routine, go back in, probably 5:05 now, do the meeting at 5:10. Usually sometimes I would take 10 minutes, sometimes I would take 2 minutes. So then whatever, it didn't matter. I just kind of sat in my stall, waited till about 5:30. Then I go up to the top, find at our rink, we had the top carousel area, the concourse. I would do one lap around, but I would find whatever, like Tulsa, they had the box center, same thing. Allen, you kind of had, I would go outside, nice weather down there. So Orlando,
Yeah.
I'd probably go outside somewhere, but same thing, just run. Usually I would take one lap if Allen just run a little bit. Then this is where it got. Like, I would do the same exact dynamic warm up every single time. Like, high knees, down.
same routine, same
every time.
many step. Like,
Yeah.
You probably
I
had it
wouldn't
down
count to
a
the
T.
same steps, but generally, yeah.
That's
like
fucking
I would do
insane.
like high knees, kind of like slowly jog back, butt kicks, shuffle one way, back, shuffle the other way back, karaoke there, karaoke back, lunge with a stretch there, kind of jog back, like twists, Frankenstein kicks, and that was just like the start of it. Then I would imagine there's like one of those ladder drills.
Yeah.
Ladder there, quick feet down, jog back. Like I would pretend like it's there, like I'm looping around, jogging back,
Yeah.
shuffle there, icky man, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Then after I did that, then I'm going to like jumps, like high knee jumps. Yeah, so that would usually take like, that was a workout in itself. And then now it's like, now I get downstairs and then I get dressed the same way, like left shin pad, right sock, right skate, put the braziers on,
Yeah.
left elbow pad, right elbow pad, jersey. Had to wait get my pump up song. I was never the first one to put on my jersey either.
Really?
Bad omen.
Oh.
Never put the jersey on first. Waited, see if guys had a jersey on.
Luckily, we had guys on the team who would
Like
just get
Walters.
dressed.
Walters was first one ready every time.
Waltz would get dressed right after our pregame meeting at 5:10. So he'd just be in a stall like this for an hour and a half, just
Yeah.
sitting there,
We don't go-
talking to guys as they come by.
Yeah, we don't go out to warm until what, 6:29? Like Walters was ready at. I would come down from my thing and he'd be already like jersey on. Be like 5:45.
Was he like focused or was he just like chilling?
No, just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of looking around. If someone walked by and just
He was not up to anything. He was just he just didn't want to warm up. He's
Yeah.
like, that's a lot of work. I'm not gonna warm up.
That's
you
how
see
I
his
am.
body, I don't need to warm up. So then I would finally get my jersey on, listen to like, usually it's switched up every year, one pump up song, and then
So you got headphones on the whole time.
yeah, I actually switched headphones too, because I had like the earbuds, you know, like the little, like now they're like Beats, the little head in ear Beats.
Yeah.
Do that for like the run around and the stuff, but then once I got into the locker room, I had noise canceling headphones that I would put on, so no one would, I wouldn't be able to hear anyone out, zone everyone out, and it's just me.
That's
you know?
fucking wild.
Yeah, and I even left this part out too. After I got my, I wouldn't tie my skates yet, but I would like vision. I would just go through like vision stuff, like on the ice, like someone dumps
Yeah.
it in, breakout. Okay, that's
Yeah.
I do. So I'd go through one, like how I'm gonna wheel the net. Next one, I'm turning quick up. Next one, I'm hitting the center.
I would do the same exact thing.
So that's that's in zone D, and then I go through the neutral zone, get a D to D, up, quick up, D to D, cross ice, go to the offensive zone, walk off the line, shoot, walk the line, fake shoot, pass. So I do 3 in each zone, and I do that 3 times. Usually I would do it once after my jock, once after my shin pads, once after my skates, done tying my skates, and then I'm ready to go.
So then then you play the game.
Yeah.
The game ends. What until you fall asleep?
Man.
What's that? Because picture you're probably playing again the next day, or
Yeah, it depends on if we were playing again or not. If we were playing again, then I it's either getting in the cold tub or recovery boots, usually getting some ice from blocking a shot or something, and then go. Usually, if we had a game the next night, they had meals for us. Go get a meal, go home. Had trouble sleeping, so I'd just lay in bed, watch Netflix until I got tired and
Yeah.
wake up. If we didn't have a game, usually I work out. I do a full workout.
yeah, he does. He's not doing like a full workout. He's just doing chest because he knows we're going to the bar after. And he
I'm
wants,
doing some
you know,
curls,
get a little
curls,
pump going.
tries, chest.
He's going through the curl
Yeah.
sets after. Like, we're heading to the bars after
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Gotta get the muscles
Yeah,
pumped up.
show up a little late to the pregame at the apartment, but I'd get there eventually.
Oh, that was good stuff. I mean, that's why I asked Richie, because I didn't know that full story, obviously, but I saw how you prepared for the games and stuff, and I think it's very important. For a lot of people, you know, even if there's kids listening to this, hopefully not, because we're swearing half the time, but if their parents are listening to this, they can tell, you know, their kids that this is what it takes to be good, because Richie was probably one of the most consistent players I've played with. He was really good, dialed in every, you know, night in, night out. Versus a lot of guys in pro, when you're playing that many games, there's a lot of guys who have, you know, off nights, or, you know, they just didn't have it this night and then they're good the next night, whatever. Just kind of inconsistent. But Richie was a very consistent player. And I knew I had watched him do that stuff a little bit, and I knew he'd have some good story. And I personally think that's why you were consistent, because you were putting in the work before the game, and I happen to find that out about myself during my career as well. As the better you prepare for the game, the better you'll play. So.
100%, because I was on the opposite side of that. Like, seriously,
bring us through yours. Let's hear.
I was on the opposite side because I don't know. I just been through a lot of shit in my hockey career, so I just tried to enjoy every moment of like my day. And I'm not saying that you didn't enjoy that. If I was that focused, I'd probably still be playing, because that's something that I lacked. And it's something that I noticed, like, on the ice, like, oh fuck, I'm kind of sluggish today, you know, like. Yeah. But then the other time, so at college and at pro was completely different for me. College, I said it before, I didn't play a whole lot, so I didn't take my stuff very seriously in college. So we'd wake up, I'd roll out, whatever, 20 minutes before we have to be to the rink. I'd go to the rink. We'd have our, you know, breakfast there. We'd eat that, and I'd, you know, maul down an omelet and like hash browns. And, like,
Friday, Saturday, it's tough to eat though.
Yeah, it is. So whatever, ate, and then I didn't do anything before pregame skate. Like I just got dressed, went out there, pregame skate, came back, and we had a little bit of time before lunch. I'd go back to my apartment, play video games. We'd come back at 2:30, right?
Yeah.
Or 2:00 for power play, penalty kill.
I thought about this after the fact. In college, we ate the pregame meals at like 2 to 2:30. When I was in pro, I was eating every pregame meal at like 12. Because if I ate at 2:30,
couldn't move,
I would be done.
Yeah.
So when I thought about that, thinking back, I'm like, how did we do that?
Yeah. And so I'm going to add on to that. So I have our power play PK meeting. You know, my first 2 years, I wasn't part of either meeting. So, you know, I'm there 30 minutes early, just chilling, like maybe hitting a ping pong ball, whatever. We'd sit down, we'd do our pregame meal. And it was pasta and sweet potatoes. And I was filling my fucking bowl up to the brim at 2:30 in the afternoon. We play in 4.5 hours, and I've got, you know, 1,700 calories on my plate. Like, I just didn't take it very seriously, and it's something I wish I would have done. But then we'd come back for game time. Had to be there 2 hours before 5 o'clock. We'd do our meetings, and then I'd go play soccer. And I didn't do, for my first 2 years, I didn't do any kind of warm up besides soccer. I literally just played soccer because it was fun. I was laughing. I got to peg people with a fucking soccer ball.
Getting the body warm.
Yeah.
It still works.
It does. It absolutely does. And that's something I took with me to pro. But then I'd just get dressed and I'd go to the game. And then after the game, I'd play video games until 2 a.m. And then...
Yeah, I found that interesting when I thought about myself was when you're playing those games, you can't sleep after for some reason.
No.
Yeah.
Like
Adrenaline.
you want to go to sleep because you got to get up early the next morning and do things the next morning, but you're just wired.
I almost knew that I wasn't going to be able to sleep, though. So
You had a routine.
I said, you know what? I'm not going to be able to sleep. And also I forgot to add this. I used to suck down 4 ibuprofen before every single game, both in college and pro. Just terrible for you. But it was just one of my routines. But yeah, video games. I knew I wasn't falling asleep Friday, so I'd just play until 2 a.m. Then I'd pass out, and then I knew I'd be getting a nap in on Saturday, like a good nap. So that's why I kind of did that. But then pro, I completely changed. Not so much in the morning. We'd show up. I wouldn't do anything. We'd get dressed, but I was always the first one on the ice. Whatever, skate around the circle like every hockey team does. We'd do our little drills. Then I'd get off the ice and cold tub. And then after that, I'd go get my pregame meal. The only thing I ate at around 11:30, and I'd get a breakfast skillet every single time. At home games, breakfast skillet with a chocolate chip pancake on the side. First watch. If you guys have never been to a first watch, it's fucking
So
incredible.
good, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So I used to get
First watch. Where is that?
It's like I don't know. It's like a chain down in the south almost.
Yeah,
I think.
I think I went to one we put in Indy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a healthier,
Yeah, it's good. I mean, the skillet had eggs, avocado, sun dried tomatoes. Like it was pretty good. And then I finished it with a fat chocolate chip pancake. You
Gotta
know,
reward yourself.
yeah, absolutely. I got something slightly healthy over here. I might as well finish. Then I'd go back to the apartments, play video games for an hour, sleep. I tried not to sleep more than 2 hours, so I was really big into an hour and a half. So I'd play video games for whatever, an hour, hour and a half. I'd nap, hour and a half. Then I'd be up at 4. We had to be at the rink at 5. We'd have our meetings. I'd shower before the meeting, get my undergear on, sit through the meeting, then I'd play soccer. And then this is where I changed. I actually did a 5-minute bike after playing soccer before getting ready. And it actually changed how I felt, tremendously on the ice.
Yeah.
And so that's something I did for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I used to just throw my legs up and think, I'm getting all the lactic acid out of my, and then I'd feel sluggish. But just going hard on a bike for even 5 minutes, it changed my consistent play by a ton. But yeah. And then I was a psycho. I'd go home and college, I'd play video games until 2 a.m. because I knew I wasn't sleeping.
What game are you playing during that time? Fortnite?
Fortnite. Yeah, Fortnite was the big one back in the day.
Wins.
Yeah, senior year and then 2 years of pro, basically all Fortnite. Yeah.
Would you get a win every night, or just some nights have off nights?
In college we played with some of our teammates. It was a good time, but in pro I played with Michael Brodzinski, who's an absolute sweaty child at that game. He's just
all the Brodzinski are so good at video games.
They're all good.
It's insane.
They're just one of those families. They're good at every.
Why does
they
that
pick
make
up.
sense to me?
Yeah, he's just. I don't know. They're all good at it. I played with all. There was one time it's called Creative, and they have 10 of their buddies get on, and we're all playing against each other in the same match. And these Brodzinski kids are fucking yelling at each other in the microphone, but they're fucking building and shit. And I'm just standing on the ground, trying to pump shotgun. But I liked video games because it took me out of my reality, right? Yeah. It allowed me to go somewhere else.
sure.
I didn't think about hockey if I played bad or if I played good or whatever. It just kept me whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, mine was it's nothing groundbreaking really. You know, wake up, go to the rink. I didn't do much before pregame skate. But during pregame skate, there were some things I would make sure to work on. Richie kind of touched on a couple of them, like my pivots, skating forwards, and then, you know, you kind of practice if the puck gets turned over, you got to pivot backwards.
Yeah.
Always work on that. Make sure to never cross over, because you're taught, you know, as you go up levels, if you start crossing over on your pivots, a good player will expose you.
Yeah.
Because you can't control where you go when you're crossing over. You're just going straight back. Versus if you have 2 feet underneath you, you can go left, right, wherever. So I would work on that a lot. Skating was a big thing in pregame skate. And then get off the ice. Again, you know, kind of act like you're stretching out and, you know, maybe see if a coach is watching and, you know, like make sure you make eye contact. Like, yeah, I'm stretching out for the game.
See, I was the opposite. I'd like walk out of the locker room and I'd slap Dane Jackson on the ass and I'd be like, "See you later, man." Like, I just didn't.
But then so my pregame routine kind of changed over time as I experimented with a lot of things, as I'm sure you guys have. You know, you kind of change things up if they're not working or if you think that was a problem. In college, I would take, you know, sometimes I would take a 2-hour nap, 3-hour nap. Well, I found out later on that 45 minutes is best for me. If I sleep longer than that, I'm groggy and, you know, I kind of feel tired.
Yeah.
But if you take a nap for 45 minutes, you know, you wake up, you're refreshed, like you feel good. So that's kind of what I tried to keep it to. And then in college, obviously, like Olson was saying, we would fill our plates ridiculously. I mean,
Stupid.
I don't even want to know how many calories we ate. It probably wasn't that dumb because we did burn a lot, but it wasn't.
Yourself.
I could never do. I could never do that in pro. When I got to pro, we always ate at 12. I always ate at 12 o'clock. I'd cook my own meal. Lot smaller portions. So when I'd show up to the rink, I'd almost be hungry. You know, kind of get a piece of toast and some peanut butter in. But I was also a soccer player when we got to the rink and in pregame. Played 2-touch for a while, and as soon as I got out, it kind of depended on the day, you know, how I was feeling playing 2-touch when I got out. But if I got out early, it didn't really matter when, but every game before I had to stick handle with either a ball or you know, a sliding puck, a green biscuit. Because I learned that if I didn't stick handle before these games, before I went on the ice, my hands were just terrible. Versus if I spend 10 to 15 minutes stick handling before the game, you know, I could make those passes wheeling around the net with my head up. Versus if I didn't, I'd be staring at the puck, you know, because I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So I really had to preheat the oven there with the hands. And then in Utah, they were nice enough to supply us with a masseuse. So that was one of my things. I'd go in there every time she was there, get a, you know, back massage, whatever hurt, you know, if hips were sore or whatever. That would feel great. Didn't get that luxury in North Dakota. I'm going to talk to Bubs about that.
Yeah.
I think that should be a thing.
Yeah.
But then, when I'm getting dressed, it was always right skate on first, left foot skate, right shin pad, left shin pad, right sock, pull up, strap it in. Left sock, pull up, strap it in. Breezers, right foot in, pull up, left
That's
foot.
fucking weird.
Weird.
I could never do that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then...
But I think subconsciously I did.
Yeah, you
most
probably...
likely.
You know what I'm saying? I
always put my right shoe on first.
Yeah,
Like, you don't think about it, but I do.
yeah, that's
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do that and then obviously play the game. It kind of... I wanted to bring up Richie's consistency because in college it was easier. It was easy to follow your pregame routine and everything you did. You played 2 games a weekend. That's what it was. That's it. Well,
Yeah.
in pro, it's a lot different. You're playing different nights. Sometimes you're playing 3 and 3, you know, 4 and 5. And obviously on some of those days, you know, you're playing the 4th game in 5 days.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not sleeping. I'm not taking a 45-minute nap right now. I'm taking a 3-hour nap.
Yeah.
And it's tough to eat those days or whatever. So it changed a little bit. But Richie was, you know, on those 4 and 5s, and if you played a matinee game at 12, it's really hard to follow your routine.
Oh, absolutely.
Richie was really good at following his routine no matter what the circumstance. So I think that's a huge part of, obviously why you were successful, but that's why a lot of guys are successful, because they don't, if you have a routine, you have to follow that and keep up with it no matter the circumstance, and that's the toughest part, is keeping up with it.
I feel like you have to find out, what works for you.
Yeah.
What works for somebody else might not work for you.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not going to fucking bike. That's terrible. Like, I don't want to do that. But that part actually helped me. But then, I tried listening to music in the locker room, but I hated it. I wanted to have no headphones where I could converse with people and I can be like the lighter, guy in the locker room.
Loose,
if people wanted to zone me out, they could put in their earbuds, like it. Everybody has something different. You just have to almost kind of calculate out what works. If something works one day, does it work every day? That kind of thing. So I'm sure you kind of went through some of that stuff too.
Yeah, I feel like in college, I would kind of let stuff, like, if it didn't go exactly as planned, I think that would mess with my head, and then I would be like, oh, it's because of this. I didn't play good because of this.
Yeah.
And then once I got to like junior, senior year, I was just like, got my routine, I'm good to go. Like, if something happens, oh well, like, I'll just get back onto my routine. So it wasn't like, it was very like meticulous, but like I wouldn't let other things affect it. Like, if someone came over to me and wanted to chat with me, it's like, oh shit, I didn't tie my skate at this time, Like, I was never that point, but I didn't have to. I wasn't reliant on certain things.
Yeah,
that's when it can hurt you.
Right.
There's like, a routine is good. Superstition can be viewed as bad.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because if one little thing, if you're worried about timing and however many steps you take and all this, kind of OCD stuff,
Right. Yeah.
it can bite you in the ass, because if you don't complete one of those things, then you're going to play bad, because you just think in your head, well, I'm fucked now.
Yeah. And I didn't think I had to, like, my freshman, like, sophomore, I had to listen to a certain song at a certain time.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, okay, like, once I got away from that, it was like, okay, just stick to your routine. And then I was like night and day after that. Like, that's when I kind of started. Yeah, my sophomore year was a bad year. So ever since then, it's been.
We always. I mean, I had those. I had some of those superstitions where I forgot to do one of them, and I'm sitting on the bench during the game, and I'm like, I don't want to go out there. I'm fucked. Something bad's gonna happen. I didn't do this. I didn't eat the granola bar at 4:03 p.m. What the hell?
Seriously.
Yeah. I never got into that, but I don't know. I mean, I guess, like, I was the guy that passed the pucks out of the corner. Like, that's something that I did in Orlando. So I guess that.
There's little things, like you walk onto the bench before the game, no one's in the stands, and you tape your stick just looking around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to make all these people rise to their feet. I tuck tonight. I never said that, but some guys probably did.
Yeah, no. Only when I played St. Cloud.
All right, let's get into Richie's career. So, Rich, you're from Blaine.
Yep.
Play high school there.
Yep.
Did you graduate?
I did, yeah. Yeah.
Then you go to Aberdeen?
Yeah. Well, I was about to be done after high school. I was like 5'6", 5'7", and I wasn't talking to anyone. And, like, on our team was Bukestad, Tufty, Scheid, Tony Larson, like, all these guys getting D1 offers or going to play, like, USHL, and I wasn't talking to anyone. And I was like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. So I actually applied to River Falls. I was going to try to walk on there and play D3 hockey and baseball. And I applied to Mankato, got accepted, and I was just going to go try and walk on there. So I was like, all right, just give that a go. And then all of a sudden at the end of the year, guy at MAP, Howie, coaches in Austin now, he's like, hey, I'll get you a tryout for Aberdeen. Like, go give it a try. So I actually signed up for that pre-draft camp. Went to Aberdeen's pre-draft camp, signed up for like Alaska, Bismarck. So I signed up for all those pre-drafts, and I went to Aberdeen and actually got their last tender. So I was like, holy shit, all right, got a job, So and then went to the main camp and played a year in Aberdeen, which was, but yeah, it was.
Was it? How'd you like it there?
It was the first year they were a team in the NA, so it was their first year. So they didn't have a lot of like familiarity of what the NA was.
Yeah.
So like from now, like people go to Aberdeen, and I guess it's just the rink is insane. Like they got seating on both sides. There's suites.
Yeah.
We just had seating on one side, and it looked like you were playing in like a pole barn. But the fans were wild. Like we would sell it every night. The fans were going crazy. They didn't really understand the game, but
Yeah.
they were just loving to be there.
Same as any other junior town.
It was so fun to play.
Dollar beer night.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just going nuts. I
Exactly.
love
Yeah.
it.
So I loved it, and I was got close with the family. I was with the Hollands. They had 2 girls they both actually play hockey at Gustavus now, and a little boy, Derek. So I got close to the family, and that next summer after I went there for the 4th and hung out with them. So I loved the Aberdeen.
And then you go to the Fargo. Well,
Yeah.
like when did you know you were going to Fargo the next season?
At the end of Aberdeen, we weren't very good. Like first year team, not very good. And towards the end of the year, I ended up having mono. The doctors were telling me I had strep.
Making out with chicks.
Yeah, dirty Aberdeen. So I was playing, and all of a sudden I got hit so hard in the chest one time, and I started coughing up blood, and I was like, okay, something's not right. And I went back in, and they're like, yeah, you got mono. And that was after a final weekend series, and I was like, oh, like no wonder. Just played 2 games, 2 nights. We're down to like 3D. Next day, it's a Sunday. Fargo coach calls like, hey, do you want to come up? It's because Aberdeen's not far from, up in Fargo. It's like, you want to come up for the weekend, skate, and kind of do like a mini tryout? And I was like, I can't. I have mono. So I was like, well, there's my shot to go to Fargo. I'm going to have to go back to Aberdeen. I mean, which I wouldn't mind. But luckily, in the spring, they called and they're like, hey, we got an open spot at one of our camps. You want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I went to that camp. They're like, all right, come to our main camp. Made it through main camp. And I was like, all right, going to play in Fargo. And I was actually roomies with Johnny Brodzinski.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we grew up playing again with each other in Blaine, and then we go to Fargo and we get to live together at my uncle's house. My uncle was a billet.
No way.
Yeah, so I get to play in Fargo and live with my aunt and uncle for the year, and it was unreal.
That's unbelievable.
I loved it.
Tell your uncle, like, hey, we're playing this shitty team this weekend. You should probably take a trip out. Just go somewhere else. I'll hold the fort down here and have a nice little party Saturday night after we sweep these fuckers.
Right? We would find a case of beer every once in a while down in the basement. That's when Goffer would come over and we'd have a couple beers on Sunday.
You guys that's a solid squad.
Yeah.
Who else was Chiz on your guys' team?
Chizzy, Austin Farley, Hargrove.
Oh my
Yeah.
Dom
Bunch of
Rock
weapons.
all those out east. Yeah, Willie Corin, Brian Cooper. It was a mini NCHC little.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
That's a good squad.
all those
I
names.
follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a good squad. That year was so fun. It was a blast.
Did you just play the 1 year or 2?
1 year at Fargo.
1 year, yeah.
Okay.
But I was getting ready to go back for my last year, and we were in main camp. It was one of the camps we were at St. Thomas Ice Arena, and all of a sudden, one of the coaches came down and was like, hey, this guy from Miami wants to come and talk to you. I was like, all right, yeah, sure. So it was Brent Brecky, who was the assistant coach, and now he is a head coach at St. Lawrence. He pulls me in, and my parents are there. So he's like, yeah, just bring your whole family. And like, yeah, so we had a defenseman leave. Are you interested in coming to Miami? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to see the school. Like, being from Minnesota, like, I had no idea. Like, my dad
You don't hear about
my dad played at the U.
Yeah.
I love North Dakota, like UMD, St. Cloud. And prior going back, I went on an unofficial visit to St. Cloud at the end of my first year with Fargo with Johnny. He was already committed, but he brought me down there. So I was like, yeah, I'll come visit. But at the back of my mind, I'm like, St. Cloud. Like,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So go out, see the school. They flew me out the Monday after the tryout, and I was like, all right. And it's summer, so like you don't
No
get a
one's
good
there.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the athletes are usually there in the summer, so I go there. But I was like, holy shit, like this place is unreal.
Which it is.
Yeah, like, and there's not even like the campus there. Like, no, I mean, the students aren't there. Like,
Yeah.
you just see the red brick of the buildings, and they give me a tour, and I go to hang out like at Hawks Landing. It's a big pool in the summer. All the athletes hang out, and still some girls are hanging out in the summer. I'm like, all right, like this isn't too bad. I can get used to this. So I fly home, and Moscow got wind of that. I went out to Miami, and he's like, hey, we'll give you a full ride. I was like, I don't know, like, because they were back and forth if they had another guy, if he could pass some test. I think it was a European player. If he could pass a certain test, then he was going to go, and then they wanted me to go play a year. And I was like, I don't want to be second choice. I'm going to Miami. So I ended up going to Miami, and
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a good story.
I loved it. Yeah. So, and I mean, yeah. And then when I went there actually in September, when it was full campus students, I was like, holy shit. Going to the bar for the first time, I'm like, yeah, I made the right choice. Like, yeah, Brick Street on a Friday night. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
So let's get into your Miami days. What's it like? You get to campus. I mean, this college, a lot of people don't know. A lot of these listeners, they probably have never been to Miami's campus in Oxford. But when you arrive, you don't know what to expect. You fly into Cincinnati, right?
Yep.
And then you drive an hour or something.
Yeah, 45 minutes
45
through like
minutes.
farms, cornfields. Yeah.
You drive to Oxford, you don't know what to expect. But then you arrive and you're like, this place is pretty sweet. So what are your thoughts when you arrive as a freshman? What's it like?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, you're just driving through cornfields and all of a sudden just huge red brick buildings. The campus is all red brick. Like, it's super nice, well kept. And then all of a sudden, like, you're looking around. Like I said, I went there when there wasn't a lot of people, and I got the campus. And for my first day walking around, I'm like, wow. When I was going there, the ratio was like 5-1 girls to guys. And
Yeah.
they're not just like, they're good looking, pretty.
They're not your average.
No, they're pretty women. Like, it's usually the wealthy women, like wealthy families from like Chicago,
Yeah.
Columbus, out east, like Boston, New York. So like, it was just like eyes were wide open. Like, I've never like.
And you're on the hockey team there, which is it's got to be kind of a big deal on that campus.
Yeah.
Because it's probably, they do have who came out of their football program?
Big Ben.
Roethlisberger, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think their football program's that big, but it's got to be all hockey kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was there, it was football team was decent. The first couple years they weren't too good, but then they hired Chuck Martin, who was at Notre Dame. I think he's offensive coordinator there, and then came over. But yeah, we're the main team on campus. A lot of it was like fraternity and sororities, but we were the main sport, and like people would camp out like to get tickets for like Friday games. Like, they wouldn't go to class. We'd walk to morning skate, and there'd be tents outside the building, like people sleeping to get tickets for the game. And we do like a run around before our game, and people are lined up like in lines, lined up around the rink, and we do like just kind of like a lap when we would just high five the whole chain coming through. Like,
Oh, I would have ate that shit
like,
up.
yeah,
Oh,
it was
That's
so
what you live
fun.
for. That's why you train.
Yeah, like,
That's why you shot those pucks and
Yeah.
did those.
that's why I did
banger
those
skates.
curls.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So you had that, and and then that part was awesome. We had a weight room on kind of by our dorms, and then end of my sophomore year, they built a $1 million weight room and
Which
stuff.
I want to touch on.
Yeah, we can get that after. Yeah.
The picture you guys took.
Oh, with the chain gang.
You remember the chain gang?
Yeah. That was
You remember
summer.
the chain gang
No.
picture from Miami?
Yep.
So they got this. Sorry, to
Summer
interrupt.
workouts. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but this was your sophomore year, I think, when you guys, or my sophomore year. I don't know.
was
if
my
you-
junior year.
Your junior year when you guys were nasty.
Yep.
Unbelievable team. They got this new weight room, and they took this team picture and posted it like on Facebook and Instagram, and all of them are like wearing chains over their necks, and like it's actually
That's sick.
a sick picture.
They're probably all shredded
But
too.
at the time, we saw it and we're like, oh, look at these pussies. What losers. And we're trying to manufacture hate from this picture. Like, look at these guys. I think they're sick. You think you're cool? Let's go.
That's probably one they put up on the wall, like when we were playing against Miami. They're
Oh,
like,
it's on-
look at these fucking guys.
Hack just tapes it to the whiteboard. Look at these guys. I think they're pretty slick, eh?
That's,
Take a look. They look like they think they can beat you guys.
I want to add on to this quick. We spent, like our 6 weeks in the summer up on campus. I spent all summer up there, but we do like a Friday workout at the volleyball courts. And, we do sprints, whatever. Then we'd play like team volleyball, whatever. And then we'd do a team pick, and all the guys are just tarps optional, like whatever. And I'm just sitting in the back with my shirt on. Oh God, I hated being the chubby
Guys,
fucker, man.
let's all take our shirts off and take a workout picture. It's okay. I'll be in the picture. My shirt's going to be on.
I like it. I was like, just my head. I have my shirt on.
Make sure you're in the back row.
Yeah.
Maybe show the traps
I was,
a little bit.
dude, but I was going to college with all these fucking idiots. They're 4% body fat, dude. I'm fucking 14. I look like a
Oh, you're preaching
goddamn.
to the choir over there. He's,
Yeah.
he's a freak.
I know. I was the I was the
be
Michelin
chubby,
man. Yeah,
But yeah.
it wasn't fun. I never
wasn't.
I never grow out
That's why I
of
said
it.
I'm never going back.
Well, good for you.
So let's continue on the Miami path here. So you're obviously it's unbelievable playing for Miami. I mean, when are the big? How are you viewed on campus from the students? Like, are you guys the big rigs? Does everyone know who you are? Kind of thing in
Yeah.
town, or is it kind of subtle?
Yeah, when you're like freshman year, like a start, people don't really know. But like when I'm walking around, I'm walking with like Zarni or Kurt McKenzie. When I was a freshman, like people knew who they were, like for sure. Like, and then going to like sophomore, I'd be walking around and people would knew who I was, like knew I played hockey. And then like the bar owners really knew who we were. So like at Brick, we knew Will, the owner, and we just kind of like after games, we'd be sprinting there, kind of like
Was that your guys' spot?
Brick, or we also would go to Pachinko's, and that was like our start off spot. Go up, we'd have like a little corner, and we'd just go through the back door. Like line would be down the stairs around the building, and we just one person would kind of like go talk to the bouncer, go back down, let the door open. We're right back up, and then we have our back corner. Weidman would always play Hoop Jones on those touch screens. He'd just sit there and play Hoop Jones all night. We'd just be hanging out. Yeah. And then once we go to Brick, like that line, like some people won't even get in because they're standing out in line for 2 hours. But we would just either go to the side and where the bouncers and they're checking IDs, we'd just kind of like knock and we'd kind of like peek over. And then all of a sudden she'd be like, all right, yeah, like who's all with you? And we'd be like, this person, this person, this person. Some people had girls with them, they'd be like, yeah, that girl, this girl, oh, that person right there. All right, let them in. And then we just go in and we go right to our little corner at Brick, and Will would come over. Like, you guys want shots? You want some beers? What do you want? Get our drinks and just hang out in like that's corner. And like
Love that.
people
Good
would come
energy.
over. Like we were friends with like the football guys,
Yeah.
basketball guys. They'd all come over, hang out, and then you'd have like some of the sorority girls. They'd come over, try to hang out, mooch some drinks off you, and be like, not happening tonight. Like you're not getting free drinks. Like
Some of those guys are handing them out though.
oh yeah,
Yeah, let's be honest.
Oh yeah, I might have done
Someone's
it a couple
always
times.
falling for it.
Listen, if a gal's coming up to me,
Hand
hey,
up, hand up, I'm guilty.
do you need a drink?
Yeah.
Oh, you
2,
gotta-
3, 4?
Your friends
Oh, you gotta
all,
go? Oh,
Your friends
no.
all need a drink.
Shit.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I'll take 10 of those. Get the bill, and you're like, holy fuck. Actually, he's got it.
Then they get the drink and run. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like, that's the worst.
oh, I gotta go. Oh, see ya.
Okay, so Rich, I got to ask you.
Yep.
So obviously, we pull up to Miami our first time. Really, no one on the team has seen it. So my freshman year, it was the first year of the NCHC.
Yeah.
So it was kind of the first year we would
Yeah.
travel to Miami.
Yeah.
So we go to Miami. No one knows what to expect. You drive to the rink, pregame skate, then you drive back to the hotel. And you're driving down these roads, and every single house on this campus has like a billboard on top of it and a name. There's a name for every single house. And it's I think that's the greatest idea ever in college, because where are you guys at tonight? Oh,
We're at the beach house.
we're at the Panthers, we're at the Panthers tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, we're going to Panthers tree
Yeah.
or whatever it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever have a house that had a name on it, like those
Yeah.
houses?
Yeah. So like the main house when I was a freshman, that was a house that got passed down through.
So you're a freshman living in a house.
I wasn't, but like that was like when I was a freshman year.
yeah.
That was the main house. It was called Bar Down. Everyone would know like, hey, party at Bar Down. Everyone would be like, no one had asked where it was. Like everyone knew Bar Down because we had hockey gloves and a stick. Like instead of like that sign, it was hockey gloves and a stick. Everyone knew it was the hockey house, And then my junior, once you're a junior, you can live in houses. And we went and found a house and we called it Camp Hope. Kind of like the heavyweights, like the fat camp, like Camp Hope.
Oh yeah,
So
what's that movie called?
Heavyweights. Yeah.
It's Ben Stiller.
Lunch
good
is
shit.
canceled. We're killing a hustle.
Lunch is canceled.
So we had Camp Hope, but yeah, there were some good names like sorority. This one sorority house is called 8 Out. Like, yeah, we're going to 8 Out tonight. You know, there's a bunch of girls there. Like, so yeah.
What happened to those girls after the night? Did they get?
Yeah, we went home.
Yeah. Out?
Yeah, we went home.
We went home.
I would have been in that group.
Use your imagination.
We have to leave.
So what's?
Why are they staying?
Those guys are staying. Where are they doing?
No. I just have to go. Okay.
What's the origin? Have you ever heard the origin? Like, how did this start? Where every single house.
Yeah, I don't know.
And people think I'm exaggerating, but it's literally every house you drive by has a sign on it that says its name.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even when I went on my visit, I remember Tregs, when the assistant coach was driving me around to like get to the rink or going to show me the business school, and he's like, "Yeah, as you notice, there's signs on every house. Like that's been here since I was here." Because he went to Miami in I think early 2000s. Same thing. Like that was a tradition. That's how houses got passed down. Like different sororities, they kept the name, or if someone got a new house, I think there wasn't a name on our house because it was someone might have lived there, like an actual person that lived in Oxford, and we found a sign that said Camp Hope, and we live in Camp Hope now. That's what it is, you know. Like, that's where we're at.
That's good shit.
Yeah, it was cool how that's like, yeah, because now that I didn't even really think about it. Like people are like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to this house. Like people would have to like be like an address. Like I don't know where that is. Like like bar down, yeah, I know where that is.
Like there's no. I mean, we kind of had the same thing in college. Like we had every single place that we would have gatherings at. Every single place had a name.
Yeah.
Like Anthill, Pita Pit, 420, which is the house I lived in because the address was literally 420.
Yeah.
The bin, the bunker, you know, there's always.
Yeah.
But we didn't have signs out front, like letting
I
people
think that's
know.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah. That was my favorite part about driving around that campus. And also the bagel
and deli.
Bagel and deli. What's it called?
Bagel and deli. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, it was
unbelievable.
So
and insomnia cookies.
Well, yeah, that's my go-to. Yeah. 6-pack every night.
Yeah, those are dangerous late night. Like either go to insomnia or But if you went to Bagel and Deli, like that's where everyone went. You're waiting until 3:00 to get a sandwich.
Oh yeah,
it was insane, but it was worth it. Like you're hammered. You're like looking for a nice just bagel, and they have just every like anything you can imagine, like Doritos with like turkey and avocado cheese. Like
why did I not know about this place?
It was so good.
I went there all 4 years. Every time we played there, went there.
Because isn't there
and Schloss tweets about it too?
Isn't there a Chipotle right across from the hotel?
Yep.
And then there's a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep. If you went where that Chipotle is, if you go straight back the other way, like probably how you came into town, it was probably 2 blocks over from your hotel. On the main drag. It was kind of tucked away. It was next to another bar.
Damn, I would have loved that place.
Yeah, it was next to stadium.
It was elite.
Yeah,
so good.
Cam Johnson and we were roommates in Miami, and we both crushed a 6-pack of insomnia cookies each night.
They're so good,
dude. God, Thursday night, Friday night, insomnia. 12 rack of them. It's like $20.
I mean,
so good.
Miami. I've actually got a few. Those were always some of my best road trips going to Miami. Just the rink. You roll up to the rink, and when we first started playing, you guys had an unbelievable team. So there's a ton of fans there, and we talked about like student sections at different rinks. Well, Miami's got it's right up there with the Lawson Lunatics, where they're right behind the glass when we're warming up. So, like, I would always just, like, you're always, like, fist bumping the glass when the guy's flicking you off and just chirping you through the glass. And you're just like, okay, like, this is great. I love that you're here.
Yeah, but it was like, okay, so the students were behind the glass, but then everybody else was, like, on top of you.
Oh, yeah.
That was unreal.
Yeah, and they're, like over your bench and stuff.
Yeah, and it got loud in there. Yeah. It got loud. I love that place.
Rink,
yeah, the first year we played was with the NCHC. That was, like, the inaugural... open. And when it was on national TV, I remember that. I think it was on like FS or whatever it is, equivalent to FSN. But
Simmer, Dylan Simpson took the face off.
Yeah, with Zarnik.
With Zarnik.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet. Yeah. Always loved. That's one where like Olson and I don't complain that we take a charter flight
Yeah.
home after the game.
Yeah.
Like when the game ends, we go straight to the airport, fly home. Not complaining, but Miami was the one all of us would be complaining at. Like,
Yeah.
no, we got to stay here an extra night. Because,
Yeah.
like you're driving to the rink during the game, you're driving to the rink pregame, you see
Oh yeah.
all these girls and everyone out on campus. It's like, we got to stay here. Like,
Yeah.
and then that one year, the fire alarm starts going off at 3 a.m.
Oh,
Or it was like probably 1:30 a.m. or something. Fire alarm starts going off. All of us get into the bus. Fucking fire alarm. Rico probably pulled it, fucking guy. And we're all sitting on the bus, and the coaches are like, they're taking head count. Like, whoa, where are these guys? There's 2 guys.
you almost name
I
dropped.
was about to sell them out.
Just name drop.
I was about to sell them out. but
Name drop them. Name drop them.
I can't. So, anyways, these guys were injured. They're not asleep. They're not at the hotel. They're at the bar.
Beauties.
So we all leave the hotel, and they're like, well, we're missing these guys. And everyone's like, you guys got to get back. We're on the bus. Fucking fire in the hotel. So they ended up running to the bus from the bar, which isn't far. Like we're right
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's right there.
So they end up running the bus and get on the bus, and I don't know. The coaches probably knew, but
They should have known.
there's the coaches at North Dakota are really cool about that kind of stuff, so they
Yeah.
probably just
Depending on the situation, had we lost or whatever that next day, they probably would have been like, these fucking guys are out partying, whatever.
Yeah.
But we won, so it didn't. But yeah, that's one place I would have really.
we all wanted to
enjoyed.
stay every time.
Yeah.
And we actually not to rain it on you, Richie, but we did win the Penrose. We were battling for
Yep.
the Penrose in Miami.
That was my junior year.
yeah, so whoever won that game basically won the Penrose.
The first night. Yeah. Yeah. You guys beat us.
And we happened to win. So we had the Penrose, and we're just all going up to the coaches like, come on,
Yeah.
come on.
Let the boys play.
Yeah.
Put the curfew at 3 a.m. Come on. They didn't. But,
No.
And that was the year we actually, so most of the time we stayed in the town, like right downtown. Well,
Yeah. You
one
guys had
of
to go stay out in Houston Woods.
yeah, one
I
of those.
remember that,
Yeah,
yeah.
that year we had to stay out in the boonies. It was like, you see Hot Tub Time Machine where they drive up to that old resort where everyone used to go in the 80s, but now it's just run down and shitty.
Like the place in Wheeling, West Virginia.
No Wi-Fi, yeah.
That place is ass.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, we roll up and we're like expecting to see some guy come out with like, half hand, like, take my strong hand. It's like, oh my God.
It was horrible. Like crows were coming in. It was, if I remember right, the food like wasn't great.
Terrible.
Yeah, they had like
No Wi-Fi.
deli ham and shit. No Wi-Fi, no cell service.
Guys are freaking out. They can't text their girlfriends. Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
man.
I'm rooming with General Patton, like the two most complete opposite humans on earth. I love General to death. He was like super passionate and he was a great captain. But like, I wanted to like fucking laugh and have fun, and General's just dialed in the whole weekend. Like,
That literally sounds like the Wheeling, West Virginia.
It's
hotel.
exactly like
There's
that.
you have nowhere to go. You're forced to eat there. The food is brutal. You feel like you're in like the 1970s hotel. Like the hotel's massive.
It's for sure haunted,
Yeah.
by something.
Yeah.
Because it's been around for years. There's obviously some ghosts roaming around these halls.
Yeah. Especially out in the woods like that.
That was quite the change from that hotel downtown that we stayed at.
that one's nice,
That
too.
place is unreal. It's
Yeah.
right down there.
Yeah.
And then you go out to the woods. And some
Houston
old
Woods.
ski lodge feels like it's
Hack
like,
knew what he
what
was
is
doing.
going on out
Heck
here?
knew what he was doing, coward.
Yeah.
You walk into half the rooms like, no, you got a non-smoking room and it's just straight cigarette.
Just darts.
Oh, well, they didn't abide by the rules here. Yeah, that's good. But Richie, I did want to ask you, so you're in Miami. We always talk about this. What's your favorite place to go on the road?
I'll have to say either playing wise, I mean, even though I had a bad experience, North Dakota. just because like you walk out from the bench, locker room bench area, and you look up and it's just the sea of green of people just like hovering. Like you literally, I can like picture it. I just walk out and you're like, holy shit, there's just people everywhere. It's going crazy. Like it's like, and growing up in Minnesota, you always hear about the Ralph and you always watch like the Sioux go for rivalries. So like now you're there like playing in the Ralph and you're walking out and you're like, holy shit. Like it was sick. I loved it. And then just hanging out like after you guys, like we would go to, I think we went to Joe Black's and the baseball guys were buying us rounds of drinks. And then Anthony Lewis was, I think, texting you and you're like, let's go. Like,
was that the night?
Yeah, that was the night. Yeah.
This is the night.
Yeah.
Let's get into this now.
So then, yeah, we went to Joe Black's and the baseball guys were like, oh, what are you guys doing? You're the hockey guys? We're like, yeah. And they're like, they're kind of chirping you guys. I'll throw that out there. Like, oh, you're way cooler than our hockey guys. We'll buy you drinks. And they're just coming down with like trays of Bud Light and trays of shots. And we're like,
the baseball guys hated us for some reason.
yeah.
I wasn't really part of that. Maybe older guys were, but there was a feud there.
We discussed this on an earlier episode where the teams kind of clashed at North Dakota,
Yeah.
like the
Even us
football,
in football,
football, basketball, and baseball. Like it was
didn't
all,
like-
it was weird.
Yeah.
It was super
It was
weird.
partially because of some of the guys on our team.
Yes.
Yeah.
The older guys.
The older guys
That's
on
how it
our
was
team
for us.
Yeah.
they were accustomed to, like, we're this team, we're not another team,
Yeah.
We have these friends, we're a tight-knit group.
Yeah.
And a part of it was you let a bunch of people into parties or where you're at, things can go, AWOL. It was partially responsible on those guys, but as soon as we were a little older, we had no problems with
Yeah.
the basketball.
That's how
We
it
were
was,
hanging out with
yeah.
the basketball team, the football team. Unfortunately, the baseball team got cut, so we didn't have when we were older. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of made amends, and like when our freshman class first got there, like everyone hated the hockey team. We're like,
Yeah.
all right, we got to change this. So we started becoming friends with like the baseball team, the football team, just because we're like it'd be so much better if you go to the barn, like you just know everyone and have a good
Yeah,
time.
it's
You know,
way
So, like,
better.
yeah. So
yeah.
getting back. So we get to this. We finally were like just having a good time. Like we're getting after. Like we're not paying for a single drink. You know, like of course. All of a sudden, Anthony Lewis was like, "Hey, I'm texting Ausmus like, let's go. We're going to hang out with the Nodak guys. Like they got a party at their place, and like for sure, like we would party with the Denver guys, the Duluth guys. We're like, we love this type of stuff. Like let's go. Like so we go there, and I remember some guy at the bar was like, oh yeah, like I'll drive you guys. We had no idea who this guy was. We're like, all right, yeah, sure. He's like, but I only got a small car. I was like, I'll take one for the team. I was like, I'll go in the trunk. So I got in the trunk. We had like 8 guys in there. I'm in the trunk. Like,
yeah, you guys rolled up with a bunch of
yeah,
guys.
I'm just feeling every like bump in the road. We get there and you guys had a great party going on, like bunch of people. And all of a sudden you guys are playing Flip Cup. And we're like, we got to do this, like. So it was Nodak versus Miami. We were playing Flip Cup. And I think we did a best of 7.
We went game 7.
Yeah. So yeah, it was back and forth. Like all of a sudden it's 3-3 and like we're having a good time. Everyone's loving this. Like people are on things like watching like overview,
Standing on
bird's eye
couches,
view.
yeah.
Yeah. And we're just all lined up and all of a sudden we're like, all right, game 7, we start this, get down to the wire, Nodak wins. We're like, fuck, we're just like, but we're all like having a good time. We're not sulking. All of a sudden I don't know who started it, if it was like you guys or someone in the crowd, and they're like, fuck Miami.
He said the story last week.
And we're like, fuck Miami. And then we're like, all the guys are like, fuck Miami. We just join in. We're just going wild.
They all just
The
joined in, and
place,
everyone's just
yeah.
having a great,
Yeah,
the best time. We're all
Yeah.
just like high five.
Yeah, we were like cheering, yeah, fuck Miami. Like it was just wild. Like that was something I'll never forget. It was a blast. Like, I mean, back to one of the hypotheticals. That's like what you like. You'll never forget that. Like
No.
that moment. Like we went out with Duluth. Like my senior year, Duluth. We played Duluth in the playoffs, first round at NCHC in Duluth. We lost. We're like, all right, yeah, that sucked. Hour later, we're at the Duluth house partying with them, like in
Yeah.
the basement. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, like
You
it's-
hate each other on
yeah.
the ice, but you're all so similar off the
Yeah,
ice. You
it's-
just like realize like, I kind of like these guys.
Yeah. So I mean, Nodak was probably like my go-to.
What's the
like,
best part
place.
about that story? Was that the same weekend that your birthday was, or is that a different weekend?
That was my junior year that happened. This party the sophomore year was the weekend before or the year before. Are we getting into that?
Was it?
Yeah.
Your birthday, the birthday game?
Yeah.
Tell the birthday story. So it's his birthday.
Yeah.
He's playing
Well,
North Dakota.
Wait, we got to get to the night before because this leads up to it. Like,
yeah.
So the night before is Friday, Valentine's Day, whatever. Like, we play, and sophomore year isn't going very well for Miami. Like, I think we won maybe 3 games total after Christmas before we went on that run, the playoff run. So we're playing, and it was a close game, like 3-2 it ended up. But I remember one time in the third period, I was in the corner, and I got absolutely crunched by someone. Like, elbow to the ear hole. Might have been you, Ole. I don't know. Were you there when I was a sophomore?
No, I would.
Some other bigger guy, a bigger forward, and I just got absolutely like, just crunched. Like, it wasn't those where I like fell or anything, but I just felt his elbow straight into my ear hole, and I was just kind of like slowly getting back to the front of the net. Puck went out. I get back to the bench, and I'm like, it was towards the end of the game. I was like, I'm out of it, like whatever. So then that night, like I just have a terrible headache. I'm like, whatever, like maybe I'm dehydrated, whatever. Next day I wake up and I was like, wow, like I for sure have a concussion. My head is just absolutely throbbing, but it's like, it's my birthday. I have family here playing at the Ralph. I am not telling anyone I have a concussion. I'm playing this game. Like, you know, like you don't.
Yeah,
it was.
We've all done those.
Yeah, first years in the NCHC. This is our first time at the Ralph. I was like, I'm playing this game. I shouldn't have played. I should not have played. All of a sudden, before you know it, it's 9-2. I'm a 8. We'll say 8-2. I was a minus. No, it was 8. No, it was 9-1. I think.
Yeah.
Ended up 9-2. So it was 9-1. With about 3 minutes left, I'm a -7. We score.
Happy birthday, Rich.
We score. I get down to -6. I ended the game -6 on my birthday, and by like goal 7, I think the Ralph ran out of fireworks. That's how bad it was.
We ran out of fireworks.
They ran the building out of fireworks because they were scoring so much. I remember like the 5th goal. I was standing like the net's over here. I'm boxing my guy out. Shot comes. Hits me in the leg, goes straight, hits like the center of the net. We get back to the bench. They pull the goalie. Willie's next to me, and Rico comes down. How the fuck do you let that happen? That hit the middle of the fucking net. Willie looks at me and goes, it hit Richie. I was like, yeah, it hit me. I'm -6 now. Like, it's like, the fuck, Richie? Like, I should not have played that game. Like, and then that's when downhill, like the next day, my head was even worse at the airport. I'm like, hey, Jason, I think I got a concussion. Like, my head hurts. And he goes, okay, we'll get you a test when you get back. Do the concussion test. Out. My scores were way off. Like, for sure I had a concussion. And that was actually my last game of my sophomore season.
Oh, really?
Ended -6 on the last day. Yeah, so that was tough.
Such a good.
So we had 2 weeks after that like I was just out. I just wanted to get my test going. I can make the NCHC playoffs, pass my test, and then that's when we started actually playing well. They're like, yeah, you're not gonna play. So I was like, oh. So I just got axed the rest of the year. So that was my last
game of the season.
Damn. -6 on my birthday.
Hey, a plus is you got enough ice time to go -6.
Right.
That's
true.
a huge plus.
Because if I'm -2, I'm not seeing the ice. That's my max.
No.
I think every coach had their max level. Like, if Gage is -2, he's going to the fucking locker room.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have even been able to touch that.
No, never.
Yeah, it
Never.
was bad. That
was one of those. That was one of those games where everything was just going our way.
Oh
so.
yeah, everything like the puck was going in the corner and it hit me in the leg and went in the net.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
I know how, like, because I played North Dakota with the NTDP, so I know how ridiculous those fireworks are when they get blown off. You just get scored on, and you're like, fuck me, like you're pissed, like skating back to the bench, and all of a sudden, and you're like flinching on the ice, like, oh, what the hell is going on? And you're looking up, there's fireworks going off. You're like, Jesus, get me the hell out of here.
There's no better start than scoring in the first 20 seconds at the Ralph, because it's absolute fucking madness for the next
Oh yeah.
60 minutes of gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
The fans are going fucking nuts. You score 20 seconds in, and all of a sudden, a minute later, boom, again, boom, boom, boom. That would fucking suck to play against.
Sucks to play against, but it makes you riled up when you're
Oh,
playing.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Such an advantage doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad the Ralph got used that night. So with the fireworks, that was fucking brutal. Oh.
So what's the community like after college? Are you and your Miami buddies still pretty close? Still talk?
Yeah, we I mean it's tough, like I feel like a lot of us are from all over.
Yeah.
Like Chicago, Cato's from Costa de Casa, California, Willie's from DC, Morris is upstate New York, Gase is like New Hampshire area.
Morris, by the way, I fucking hated that guy. Kevin Morris, huge guy, but anyways, for whatever reason, whenever we play him, he just try to run me, and that's fine. But I didn't like it because when we were in juniors, I played him in Dubuque, and I'm breaking the puck out, pass up the boards. He just crunches me as hard as he can. I break my collarbone. Collarbone done. Worst day of my life, break my collarbone, get off the ice. We got to drive back to Ann Arbor 10 hours on this bus. And I've got a broken collarbone with ibuprofen. And my eyes are wide awake. They're wide open all 10 hours. Just every bounce. And the whole time I'm thinking, fuck this Morris guy. I hate this Morris guy. And then all of a sudden I get to college. We go to Miami. He's playing on Miami. And I'm like, oh. I might two-hand this guy over the neck.
He's a competitor.
Yeah.
He's actually a really good guy.
He plays hard, yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy off the ice.
Isn't it weird, though?
You
how
typically like those guys.
There are always guys that, for some reason, you just go head-to-head against. Like, mine against Duluth, Nick Wolf.
Yeah.
I'd go head-to-head with him every single time. But anytime I saw him in Duluth, it was like, what's up, man? Like,
Yeah.
But every single fucking time we played, it was me and Wolfie going at it.
It's something about being on the ice where you just like, you have nothing behind it. You just hate a guy. You're like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Then you see him off the ice and you're like, I don't really hate you at all. I actually kind of like you. But then we're back in the ice the next day and it's like, I fucking hate this guy again.
Yeah.
It's just your
I don't know
face.
why.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be just your face. I don't know. Maybe your tape job, kind of brutal.
You're kind of dusty. Fuck you.
You got a candy cane and you don't have 50 points. What are you doing that for?
So anyway, back to the community.
Yeah. We're pretty close, I would say. I mean, we have group texts and chit chat here and there. It's like people are kind of at that stage now where we're getting married and stuff. So last summer we had a few weddings, and those are like highlights of the summer. You know, like all the boys are back. You haven't seen each other for a year, 2 years, and it just gets wild. It's like you're in college all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say we're pretty close. I think I have 4 of the boys and my groomsmen, and then
Which guys are those?
got Weidman. He was a year older. He's a groomsman. Morris.
Yeah.
I got Willie, Jay Williams, goalie, and Matt Cato.
Nice.
Yeah, those are the groomsmen from Miami guys, and then all the rest are obviously hopefully going to be able to make it or they come. So yeah, we had a close group. The brotherhood.
That's the best part. Yeah.
Nice.
The brotherhood.
Way to slide
That's
that
another.
in.
Thankfully, you said that. I forgot about that. That's another one. We're like, oh, we're playing the brotherhood.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that is
Got the
something.
brotherhood
That is
coming
something
in town.
we
We're
mocked
scared.
a lot. Oh, the brotherhoods,
Oh, boys, the brotherhood's here.
but it is kind of sick.
It's kind of cool. We got that, but we're all like, brotherhood. Oh.
Yeah,
they
like
think they're pretty
trademark.
sweet, huh? These brothers in the hood. Oh man, that's good. But yeah, that's the best part about college is I don't think you really get that in pro or even before that. You get those college friendships and you kind of all just stay in touch the whole time.
Yeah. Nothing like is like those college workouts like spring and
the shit
preseason,
you
like,
go through. Yeah,
it's just
like,
not the same as like
Yeah.
pro. You might have a few days of training camp and that's it. Like you go through shit when you're in college.
Yeah.
And I think it's completely because, like, pro, you just go wherever you wanted or whoever picks you or whatever. But in college, you all chose that spot to go to school. So like you have that extra little bond that like you chose to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. And with pro, like you could be gone at any second. I mean, college you could too if you leave or transfer, but like that's where you're there. You're there for 4 years.
You're there. Your feet are planted. Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But anyways, so you go on after college. I play with Richie in Utah. You spent 4 years there. What's the transition like? And obviously, I know, like, Salt Lake City, you got really lucky. Some guys have to play in Rapid City or, wherever.
Wheeling.
We're in Salt Lake, you're in Salt Lake City. It's unreal. What's the change of pace there?
Yeah. I honestly wanted to play. Like, guys usually have, like, right after the season, they go play in the A, or they do get somewhere to go play in the coast, or at the end of my year, I had to have I had an AC separation, and then I ended up having to have foot surgery. So I was like kind of screwed. So I went into that summer and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to get with a team, but if not, like, I'm going to have to go find somewhere to work, So luckily my assistant coach called around and got a hold of Tim Branham, and he's like, yeah, well,
Tom Burnham.
Tom Burnham. Yeah. So I think rookie max, my first year was like 525, and he signed me like 500. I was like, I don't care. I just want to go somewhere and play. So
cheap fucker.
Yeah. I was like, I don't really care. Like you said, I got lucky with Utah. Like that's such a great spot. And it was kind of there, Idaho, and Idaho is great too. But I kind of looked at, they had a lot of guys already signed. And I was like, I want to go somewhere where I know I'm going to hopefully play. And yeah, that I got super lucky, and obviously was there for 4 years. So I enjoyed it. And I mean, the city, it's a little different. Like you were there, the Mormons and the alcohol laws and stuff like that. But just like waking up and seeing the mountains every day.
Good,
and
clean city though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like
kind of weird, kind of different.
Yeah.
But
different on Sundays.
Very clean.
Yeah.
Just a good feeling city.
Yeah. And like there's so much to do there. Like not necessarily like.
Yeah.
Like
you can do whatever you want.
You just go walking, like go for the walk in the mountains, like go on a hike, like drive to Park City. Like I never skied, but I went there. I loved going there to watch people ski, or just that strip, like bars, and just hang out and just that atmosphere. Like there's so much. Like
you go out to see Morton Salt Mine, all the Salt Lakes, and you go out to this island, the Salt Lakes, Antelope Island, where there's buffalo rolling around, and then you go outside the city.
Crazy.
You go up to Park City. Richie said he didn't ski, which he probably doesn't know about me, but I was skiing all the time.
You were snowboarding, weren't you?
I was skiing all the time. Wasn't allowed, but I'd just be like, oh.
You and Ratsy?
No, I'm not going to ski.
Ratsy?
No, it's fine.
You go with Ratsy?
Yeah. Me and Ratsy would go skiing all the time.
You weren't allowed to ski? What,
no one's allowed to ski. Because if you get injured,
you're screwed.
You're screwed. But I'm like, I'm not going to get injured. You know, you start the day off going down the runs, like, oh, we got a game tomorrow, but... let's just go down the greens. Just have a nice leisurely, fun ride, and then towards the end of the day, you're like, the greens aren't good enough. Let's choose a black diamond. And then you're testing yourself, and then you're like, oh, okay, that might be why they don't want us to ski, but we made it down.
I was always nervous because my first year, I tore my MCL in half, so I was like, all right, if I was just nervous about my knee, I've always wanted to, and that would be the one spot if I could ski, it would be Park City. Like you literally ski down the mountain right into like the main strip, like right where people are outside, like having beer or coffee. Like it literally goes right there. Like people kick off their skis right at the bottom, right where you're hanging out. Like we could be having a drink and be like, oh, he's done. He's done skiing. It's like it'd be so fun.
Like, that's where Shelby went the other weekend, was Park City. She had a blast.
Unbelievable spot. I mean, it's a little spendy. We didn't. If you get an Airbnb there and stay up there, it's spendy because there's a lot of big wigs up there. But
still, that's sweet. I loved my trips to Utah. We only went once, but we were there for 2 or 3 days. I remember I was texting you. I was like, "Where do I go?"
When did you go? When I was.
It had to have been your last year.
Yeah. Did you? That. Yep.
Did you end? Because of COVID?
Yeah, you guys, because we played you guys and Florida that year, and Newfoundland. We played all the Eastern teams.
Yeah, so we came up to you guys. We played against Idaho for 1 or 2 maybe, and then we came up to you guys.
Yeah, I think you guys played Idaho Wednesday, us Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. You had that. Who's that little forward? Asian fella.
Yeah, Yamita.
Oh, Yuri.
Yuri. That
He's
guy.
a little magician.
That guy was nasty.
He was so good.
He
His
was-
hands were crazy.
And then who was your D partner? That guy was a moose too. The big fella.
Rob Mann.
No, Rob Mann is my best buddy. Shout out Rob Mann.
Shout out Rob Mann too. I love that guy.
Love Manor.
Manor had him in Orlando. He was my.
James Melindy.
No, he was.
Who's the
Tegan Zahn.
Yeah, that big guy. That guy was a
You do
unit.
not want to catch yourself.
That's Coach Zahn now.
He's
He's
coaching
the assistant coach. Yeah.
No shit.
Zani used to. So Zani's a full-time. I mean, he's a hockey player.
Yeah.
He's an old school hockey player. He
Yeah.
knows why we're playing. We're playing because we're playing to win the game, and we're also playing to fill the seats.
Yes,
So whenever there'd be a sold out crowd or big crowd,
he's fighting.
no one would want to fight him, but he's like, hey, there'd come a time during the game where he'd just, there's a scrum and he'd grab a guy and he'd be like, you don't have the option here. We're going. There's a lot of people in the stands. We're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah,
And
that
the
guy-
guy's like, every time the guy's like, no, it's okay. No, I don't want it. And he's like, no, we're going.
You guys had some fucking muscle.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. We had like him. We had last year. We had like Joe Wegworth. He was a big unit forward.
He was a program guy. He went to,
He was. Yeah. Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had man. I wish we would have been able to finish that year. We had a good team.
You guys were very good.
Yeah.
I think.
We had Molino, Griffin Molino, Tim McGully.
And you had Miska was down.
Yep.
He's a good
Miska,
goalie.
Yeah. Ty Lewis.
Yeah.
Ryan Wagner's with Colorado. Like.
From Wisconsin.
Yeah. Barron. Bear Dog. All those guys.
Yeah.
We had a solid team. It was.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. I liked that one a lot. I'm not very much outdoorsy, but I thought it was a very cool spot.
Yeah.
Like that was
just seeing the mountains.
Yeah,
like
it was very cool.
Yeah. The one time we got to go out to Orlando in Florida the week before is when I blew out my knee.
Oh no.
Didn't get to
Really?
go. Parents already had plane tickets and everything, so they're like, yeah, we'll just go on vacation now. So they got to go out there, and I just got to sit at home, never got to play out there, and I was so
That's
rattled.
So is that why
brutal.
you retired, Richie? Was your knee?
No, that was happened my first year. My last year, I was just kind of ready to be done. My wrist was bothered. Remember my wrist, my second year, re-injured it again. Kind of my third year, got a cortisone shot, still bothering me. And the last year, like, heard it right away. Like 2 games in, it's like, okay, you could either get surgery now, be out 8 weeks, maybe 3 months, or like another cortisone shot. It's the last one you can get. Battle through it. I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to. Because I kind of knew going in that was going to be my last year. So I was like, might as well. But by the end of like March when COVID came, like my wrist was like deteriorated.
Yeah.
Like you could see like both bones, like all my like muscle was out of there. It was crazy. But then that's when season ended and I stayed. Supposed to get surgery Friday. They called Thursday night at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. Hey, COVID, all elective surgeries are banned. Like, you can't get surgery.
Yeah.
So now I just had to muscle it throughout the summer waiting for COVID. And then finally they flew me back out in August and I got surgery. So I had to go all summer just.
You went back to get.
Yeah. Like, because they had to pay for it. They were trying to work it out to have like one of the Vikings guys do it. So I don't have to worry about flying with COVID. But they're like, that's just too much. And it's a coast, like they're not going to pay for that.
God,
so,
no.
Yeah, I had to fly. They had to fly me back to Utah, get my surgery, and the next day I had to fly back home, and my wrist is just throbbing. I'm like on the plane, like trying to elevate it. Like it was a nightmare.
That injuries are brutal, man. I feel like that's not talked about in hockey a whole lot because
play with it.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people that play through it. But my first year, I busted up my MCL as well, and guess where we were playing? In Orlando on the practice rink against Idaho.
Why on the practice rink?
Because they couldn't reschedule a game and there was an Orlando
So
Magic
no
game or
one's there.
something.
You're playing like a scrimmage.
We're
and
playing
you
a scrimmage on an Olympic sheet on our practice facility, and big Keegan, whatever the big
Keegan
Kanzig.
Kanzig. I toe-eat him. He threw a hip out, took my knee, snatched my knee right out from under me.
That's
Yeah.
how
Ended my
Dude,
first
my
season.
my knee was up in Alaska. So I had to fly home with a freaking brace on, no knee. Like same thing though. Got a hip right to the knee and
Yep.
just blew it right. Yeah.
Knew it instantly, burning like a mother.
Well, I injured the reason I got surgery on my right shoulder was I went to hit a guy in St. Cloud. So not a lot of fans know this who don't play hockey, but every rink is different with their boards.
Oh, yeah.
Some boards, you run into them, they give like a foot. Almost.
Oh, yeah.
Like, So it's like jumping on a trampoline.
Yeah.
Well, in St. Cloud, their boards are cemented in.
It's like this.
Yeah.
So you hit that wall, it's like running into a cement wall. So I go try to hit this guy. I think he ducked or like I kind of missed him, but I was going full speed and just crunched my shoulder. And my shoulder actually popped through the back. Like when shoulders pop out of the socket and like guys are like hanging
I have
on.
one.
Yeah, and you have to like push it back in. Well, my shoulder run through the back. So it was like sitting up here.
Ish.
And I had to go out with it, but it was all from those St. Cloud boards. Like, if they just had a little give to them, it probably wouldn't have happened. But
Same thing that Idaho boards. Because
yeah,
they're down in like that cement
yeah,
like
Yeah.
basement of the hotel, and freaking they're literally cement. Like it doesn't move. Like the boards are literally pushed up against cement.
Rich, do you remember when Meller speared the fan in the face
Yeah.
on Idaho on the bench in Idaho?
Yeah. That's wild.
So you play in Idaho.
That's why they have the tarp up now.
Yeah,
When
you
we were
play
there,
in
they did it.
Idaho. There's glass right behind the bench, but there's not glass on the sides.
Okay.
So this guy is the whole game just hanging over the glass with his face in our bench, just screaming like, wow, wow. He wasn't even like chirping us. He was just like, wow, wow, like screaming at us. And we're all just like, who is this fucker? Like we can tell he's hammered. Well, it's towards the end of the game, and he sticks his face out again. He's like, "Blah, blah," and one of our guys just fucking turns towards him and spears him in the face. Just spears his face. This guy starts bleeding everywhere. Everyone in the crowd is freaking out. Cops are down there. It was insane.
Only
Cops are in our
because-
locker room after the game, like, well, Andy, you're arrested.
Oh yeah.
And the guy didn't press charges because Melendi went and took a picture with him and like signed something.
Sign a stick, I think. Yeah.
They had a truce after the game.
Here's a stick I speared you with. Here you go. You can have it.
But,
Oh man.
Yeah, now they put up a tarp there. I remember my last year. So fans can't. Kind of like that Wichita
Gotta
guy.
be smart.
Remember the Wichita guy?
Yeah. There's always a guy from each one of those towns.
Yeah.
This is nuts. But well, fellas, that was a good Wednesday podcast. Thanks for coming on, Rich.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Always
Thanks for
good to
having
see
me.
you, man.
Love it.
Been a pleasure.
That's it. That's a wrap, folks. We'll see you next week.